Hello and thank you for watching the Adapt Home YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a home security mobile app. There's a couple different versions of a home security mobile app. Some companies have their own. A lot of companies use alarm.com, as you can see below. But they're all extremely similar in how they work and operate. So watching this video will give you a good idea not only how to use alarm.com, which a lot of companies will use, but how to use a mobile app just in general for your home security system. So here's the login page. Up at the top, you can see scenes. There's 4 here so far. I'm going to click on them. You can create more. A scene is just like a default setting. And they're pretty descriptive here with the names and logo. So for example, let's click on home. If you want to run this scene, what it'll do is it'll disarm the panel. You can imagine I'm coming home. What would happen when I come home? Well, I would disarm the panel. So pretty explanatory. Another scene is away. If I click on away and run this scene, well, what I do if I were to go away from the home? I would arm the panel on away mode, as you can see. Another example, what would happen if I were to go to sleep? Well, I'd want to arm the system, but I'm going to be home, so I'd want to arm it in stay mode where the motions aren't on. So I'd want to arm the system but keep it on stay. What were to happen if I were to wake up? What would I normally do with this system? Well, if I were to wake up, I'd want to disarm the panel so I could maybe take the dogs out, go over to the gym, go to work, or whatever it may be. So a scene is just kind of like an auto setting you can create on how the system will operate at different points and times and different things you do throughout the day. You can create more like, maybe coming home from work or whatever it may be, taking dogs out, whatever, letting kids out, waking up, but these 4 right here, pretty self-explanatory. These are all things you do throughout the day. Go home, leave, sleep, wake up. Basically just an auto arming of the system to fit a certain event that you're doing. Enough of that. In the middle is pretty much where you're going to focus most of your arming and disarming. Right there in the middle where it says security system, it's showing you the status of your system. Obviously green, it's disarmed. You can click there in the middle where it says disarmed, and you'll have your 2 different modes to arm, stay, or away. And you can select to have them arm silently, and then there'd be no entry delay. So I got a keypad here in the background. I'm going to arm it on stay mode, and you'll hear what happens because the keypad will react to it.
System armed, stay.
So there's the keypad right there. In the background, I have on a table here. When you arm the system from the app, obviously it's going to arm it on the keypad as well. Let's say you're gone, you're out and about, or you're getting ready to enter the home, or just even want to check the status of the system, or someone's coming over to water the plants or take out the dog. You check there in the middle, security system, and it's showing you the status is armed at stay. If you want to disarm the system, just click on the middle there, stay, and then just the disarm button. Takes a second just depending on your cellular data speed. Mine seems to be kind of slow right now, but it will disarm the system. For some reason, this is taking a while. Go to disarm. Could be my cell signal in the area.
System disarmed, ready to arm.
There you go. Could take a second just depending on, like I said, your signal. Right there below where it shows that 0, you click on that. Well, actually, there's nothing open. If something was open like a door or window, that would show it disconnected there and that the sensor is open. Where it says security system, that little arrow, if we click on that, obviously shows the status of your system. You can arm it. Right here, it's going to show all your sensors at the bottom. This system just has 3, and it's showing that they're all closed right now. If one were to open, it would show open. But there is all your sensors there. And you can arm and disarm there as well. In the middle there where it says security system, to the right where it says system disarmed, you'll see like a little clock there below the arrow. If you click on that, smart arming, you can set it to where your system will automatically arm and disarm at certain times. And for example, if no activity's been detected. So if you leave every day for work at the same time, come home at the same time, you can smart arm it to where it'll automatically do it at certain time periods. Below there, it shows the weather. You can see the highs and the lows of the day. To the right, the schedule. We're going to have some rain here. And then if you were to have cameras or thermostats or door locks, it would also show on this front page as well. But since we don't, they won't display. At the bottom, you can click on activity. It's going to show all the different activity from your system. Sensors being open and closed, motion being detected, system being armed. It'll show all the different activity from your system, the times, etc. Click on more on the bottom right. Let's go back. You can add users. We won't do that, but you can add users there. Manage devices. That's more if you have thermostats, door locks, cameras, etc. And then a big one here is notifications. You can click on that. You can turn off notifications to your phone. Go to the different settings and change all the different kind of notifications you'll get. Different sensors. I mean, you can really get into the weeds with this stuff. You know, if a system is armed with a fob, with a remote, or with a keypad, with an app, you can go through all these different kind of settings. If the system loses power, if it's been tampered, batteries low, get notifications, arming, disarming, detection on cameras, everything. Sensor left open for more than 30 minutes. You can get a notification if the system wasn't armed by a certain time. You can get a notification. Like I said before, if you go to work every day at the same time, let's say it's 9 a.m. and the system was never armed, you'd probably want a notification, hey, you didn't arm your system today. Then you can go on there and arm it. See, I just got a notification there. I have the keypad here unplugged in the background, just so I can have it on the desk here. And it reported that it doesn't have power supply. So that's a good notification to get. Let's say you're gone, out of town, or at work, and you get a notification, hey, there's no power reported. Well, you're going to want to find out what's going on and get the power back onto the home, or get the keypad does have a backup battery, but yeah, you're going to want some of these notifications. You may not want them all. Like if a sensor was left open for 30 minutes, or if the system wasn't armed by 10:30 a.m., you're going to want to know that so you can respond. If there's any low batteries, any issues, loss of power, panel tampered, sensor tampered, loss of supervision on a sensor, you're not getting cell signal in your system, as you can see right up there at the top of the system, or the top of the app, it says AC power failure. It'll show there. And yeah, that's a good way to check your system as well. So if you go into your app and nothing's showing there at the top, after you refresh, you can see that there's no low batteries, nothing's wrong. That's a good way to keep tabs on your system, especially if you're out of town for the summer. You know, you leave, you're gone for the weekend. You can simply log into your app, check the status above. So for example, let's say you're out of town on a ski trip. Right now, you'd be looking at your app saying, wow, the system is disarmed and there's AC power failure. The panel is not getting power. Well, first, let's click on there and arm the system, stay away. We want the system armed. And let's go home, call the local power company to see if there's a power outage. If not, call a neighbor so they can see what's going on and why you're not getting power to your home. So thank you for watching that. As I said before, kind of the main things you would do with this app, if you don't want to get too into the weeds, you would just use it to check issues at the top there, as you can see. And then just the middle there where it says security, you can check the status at all times, and then arm and disarm right from the app. And when you arm, one quick note, when you arm, it is instant. When you arm from a keypad, normally you have a minute to escape, get out of the house. With this, it is instant. So if you were to arm it and then walk out the front door, the system would go off and you'd have to type in your code. It wouldn't give you that delay period like you would get from arming on the keypad. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned a lot about how to use a home security mobile app.